Hi everyone, and welcome to another live video. We're going to be looking at these verses from Judges, and first of all we are going to begin here. We've just seen Adonai Bezek be dealt with by the Israelites, and now it says, the children of Judah fought against Jerusalem, took it, struck it with the edge of the sword and set it on fire. And then it says that Judah went down into the lowlands, which is the next image. The actual picture you can see on there has a picture of Jerusalem burning. Now I did a lot of research actually to create that image because I knew that actually Jerusalem's going to come up again and again and again. So even in Genesis and all the way through to Revelation. So I did a lot of research. This was the first one that I did. Now I'm just going to bring up the image for you so that you can see the Jerusalem on the blog. In 2 seconds. Now sorry, the computer's being a bit slow. So to see this, there we go. So on one of my blogs on my page, Jerusalem Through the Ages, I'm not going to go through it in much detail here, but you can go and have a look. You can see we looked at the typography of the city before, so what it would look like, not how it does now, but in the past. And there is some maps about how it would be. And here I show how I took the maps that were available and the projections of the typography, and then used them to make a projection upwards from the so you had the flat map, but then all the hills and everything, and then how it panned out. So you can see that there. Going back to the other one, you can see in the next image we've got Hebron, and this is where Caleb is fighting against the Anakim, and here basically he is fighting all the what we would call giants. So I've got the background ready for you. In the image you can see him fighting against internet. Mute. Okay, rookie error. So here we go. And in the foreground you can see one of his men fighting against one of the Anakim. The Anakim, or the sons of Anak. Anak itself is a word that means necklace. So these giants do have prominent sort of necklaces. They are essentially Canaanite sort of mix of people, although they're giants. So I've drawn them with Canaanite style skin, which is the darker skin, the sons of Ham, from Noah's sons. You can see the blood and battle that's going on. The guy in the bottom left is trying to take the weapon away from the giant, and and Caleb is there with his sword, cutting the one in the background. So he's jumping up off of a rock and slicing him. The guy's dropping his giant axe. You can see to the left of him is a Canaanite guy getting chased away by one of the Israelites, so they're routing them. This image actually gets used again in Joshua, because this bit is featured in Joshua as well, in chapter 15 I believe it is. So actually this battle is, as I said before, is a recap of what happened in Joshua. And here you can see is I have to bring it up on yours, is a picture of the Hebron. So this is like an ancient painting, a painting from a few hundred years ago, which shows how Hebron was then, obviously very different to how it is now, but then it much more similar still to how it was in Caleb's day. And there we go. And so in the background you can see those hills and the city down at the bottom of the hills and everything. And then on the right hand side we've got Debir. So they go to Debir, and the town here is not terribly well known, but I did find reference for it. And on this image that I'm going to show you, which is from BiblePlaces.com, which is a good website, that you can see this main image of the green and the poppies is Debir. And I don't think this is the image I used when I created my image, but you can see in the background that it's been drawn in the same way. And in the foreground you've got the wheat fields and stuff. And Caleb is saying, if I move it across a little bit, I will give Asher my daughter as the wife to whoever strikes down Kiriath Sefer and take it. So that's the name at the time of the Canaanites is Kiriath Sefer, and it gets named Debir by the Israelites. You can see Caleb's men there and Caleb, who we looked at last time. And then let's go to the other bit. And in answer to Caleb's challenge, we have Othniel. It says, Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, took it. He gave him Asher as daughter to wife. And so in the picture, this first picture here, we've got Othniel. He is up on the walls of Debir, and he's waving his cloak as like a flag. His cloak has a big lion on it, and as we'll see later on, because Othniel's going to come back again later in the story. Now, what you might notice is that that Othniel is very young here, and it's interesting. It's one of the things that I had to study to figure out, how to draw this one, is how would Othniel look. Through doing lots of research, then I did another blog, which again I'm going to link for you, and sorry, let's bring up the internet. And on this blog, you can see at the very end that the conclusion of it is that Othniel was very young at the beginning and then very old at the end. This blog actually goes into a great deal of detail about about Othniel, not only about him but about Asher, who is the daughter of Caleb, and her parentage and things like that, and a bit more information about Caleb that we find out from Chronicles. So I think then we have their marriage, and you can see they have different like Caleb, for example, on his badge has a dog, and that's because the word Caleb means dog, and the way I designed him was this badge for him was the idea that perhaps people were calling him a dog because he's one of his parents, I think, is possibly not Israelite, because it talks about him being son of, I can't remember how it goes, but it implies that he's one of his parents is not a Jewish, and then Othniel has a lion because he's from the tribe of Judah, and they're wearing the Judah colours, all of them, because they're all from that clan. We'll conclude this last little bit and then bring it up again next time, where it says that Othniel, it says in the text, the standard that we get in the Bible, when she came, she got, sorry, I can't read. When she came, she got him to ask her father for a field. So that's how it reads in the normal text. Apparently in the Septuagint and the Vulgate, it says that he asked her, which makes a lot more sense, because then in the next panel she's going off to speak to Caleb. We'll cover what happens with that next time. But all I wanted to say about that, him asking her, is that you'll see in the image, even the words are saying that she asked him, that actually in the picture, I've got a picture of basically his mouth is open, he's speaking and she's listening, so it implies that it's actually him that asked her, as it would make more sense from the translation, which is favoured, as I say, by the Septuagint and the Vulgate. Now we'll cover the next ones next time. I hope you've enjoyed it this time, and we'll see you next Friday at 1 o'clock.